All right. Today we're going to talk about the journey of 1,000 miles. We're going to talk about climbing Mount Everest. We're going to talk about running a marathon. But we're not going to talk about how to do it, right? We're not going to talk about the steps. We're going to talk about the race. We're going to talk about the plan. See, a lot of people say the journey of 1,000 miles, right? The climb up Mount Everest and in a marathon all start with the first step. And I disagree. I couldn't disagree more, actually. I disagree completely with that, because I believe the journey of 1,000 miles, I believe whatever you're going after, the marathon, right? Play a professional sport, be a CEO, be the president, it begins right here. It begins right in your mind. So that is where the journey begins. That's what makes something realistic or unrealistic, right? Someone says Mount Everest, climb Mount Everest is unrealistic. Maybe running a marathon at some point in time in your life was unrealistic. Right? I can't run a marathon, it's unrealistic. I just don't like to run. But then one day, for some reason, something went inside of you and your mind said, wait a minute, I'm going to run a marathon. I'm going to start training. And then realistic was born. You see, now it becomes realistic. Now it becomes real. Now it becomes yours. See, but now the next step is this. You think about it, becomes realistic. Now you got to go get it. What's unrealistic is to show up on marathon day, right, race day, and now have not trained one time and think you're going to complete a marathon. Unrealistic is to walk up to Mount Everest and say, oh, hey, I'm going to go to the summit. No, you're not. You're not. See, what unrealistic is a failure to prepare for the dream that's in your mind, right? And then think you can just do it. That's unrealistic. The failure to prepare is what makes things unrealistic, not failure. See, failure doesn't make it unrealistic. Failure means it didn't happen that time, right? We didn't take flight. Orville, right? They didn't take, right? The Wright brothers didn't take flight the first time. So what? Flying was unrealistic? No, it wasn't. That was one failure. That one failure didn't make them a failure. That one failure was a failure. But the dream was still realistic because it was here. It was in their minds. As a matter of fact, that was in their heart. They wanted to be the first ones. It was a race. They dreamed of it. They were going to make it happen. It was realistic because they put the work into it every single day. Every day. So you go to that marathon and you try to run without training, you're going to fail miserably. And it's unrealistic to think you're going to run a marathon without having trained. That's unrealistic. If you fail to prepare, right? If you fail to prepare for the goal you have in your mind and think you're going to succeed at achieving that goal, that's unrealistic. What's realistic is putting that goal in your mind, putting together a plan, working at it every day. I mean grinding every day, right? To go get that goal, and then daily being consistent in your actions towards that goal. So you dream it, and then you make a plan, and then you put consistent actions behind that plan, and what was once unrealistic is now realistic. I had a talk with a baseball coach in the SEC conference last night on Twitter, talking about, he said, when you're doing squats, let's say 315 becomes realistic at 310. Not when you're squatting 225, and I disagree. It doesn't mean he's wrong or I'm right, I just disagree. I think 315, squatting 315 becomes realistic as soon as I create my workout plan to get me to 315. Once I say I'm going to squat 315, it's realistic, because then I am going to put together a plan. See, it's all about the planning. The dream, then the plan, then the work. And I mean consistent work. And then persistent in the face of adversity. You don't get up Mount Everest. You don't just climb straight up and it's easy. There's adversity, there's wind, there's storms, there's snow and all sorts of things, ice, adversity. Dream it, right? Plan it. Work consistently. Be persistent. And then be patient like the Wright brothers. See, they didn't just give up because the first time they tried to fly, they didn't fly. They were persistent. They were everything we just talked about. And it became realistic. The unrealistic becomes realistic inside of you, with your work ethic, with your actions, with your desire. That's what makes things realistic. That's what makes unrealistic realistic. You do. Your work ethic does. Your mind does. Be strong, right? Be prepared to face adversity and go get your dreams. You guys got this. Go get your dreams.